We're the artists, the actresses, the filmmakers, to meet in Venus. Yeah, we're coming through. Shine your light, let your voices be heard. We're spreading love with every single word, from the stage to the screen. We're making our mark, me and Venus, together we embark.
Hello, good afternoon. Very happy today to welcome a great new star in the music industry, great singer and songwriter, Rachel Dean. How are you, Rachel? Good morning and good
Good
afternoon.
morning. Yes, thank you for having me on. I'm excited to be here.
Likewise, I was introduced to you through many press releases to your agent, your publicist, and let me say they've been doing a good job.
Thank you.
And they led me to discover your songs on several platforms, and I'm very happy you have the time today to join us.
Yes, thank you for
So
having me.
you're welcome. First, I want to know, before you become right now a professional artist, tell me about how did you get interested into music and what were your inspiration since maybe your teen and childhood years until you paved your way to become an international right now star.
Well, thank you. I really got into music about age 3. I started playing piano. My parents were very supportive of putting me into lessons and getting me to learn
Yes,
all kinds of instruments. I grew up playing piano, guitar, banjo, all the instruments, and then I started writing songs about. I loved to write growing up, so I would write like little stories. I would write anything I could, poems, songs, and grew up playing in bands and working on my own stuff. And then I pursued an education at Berklee College of Music, and now I'm in Nashville. So
great. What did you study at Berkeley? Piano or other instruments?
I studied songwriting. I had a principal in
Songwriting.
voice.
Great.
But
In
yeah.
voice. Great. Yes. So tell me, what were the first steps you took to start to write and collaborate with other artists to have your own material? And also, what did you do to promote your songs right now? Because, of course, you know that the music industry changed a lot during the last, let's say, 10, 15 years. Before there were albums and CDs. Right now there are platforms and social media. So tell me about your own steps and how did you promote yourself as a singer and also your songs as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a process. You kind of learn by trial and error, I think. And so
Mm.
in Nashville, it's very community based. So you work a lot
Yeah.
with other writers and other musicians. I'm very lucky. My band from Berklee is also down here with me. So I've gotten to play
Yes.
with the same people, which has been wonderful. They've been my whole support system. And so, yeah, I mean, in Nashville, it's a lot of co-writing. And so we go in and we sit down and we have a session with a producer who's making the track, and we're singing and we're writing at the same time. And it's a lot of fun to be able to be creative in a space with other people who understand your message and what you want to share with people and help bring it to life.
Yes, for sure. But right now, I want to ask about the ideas of song you have. You have a song called "Can You Hear Me Now,"
Yeah.
and another called "Powerful," right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So tell me about the ideas and the message you would like to convey in your own songs.
Yeah. My goal is to help empower people and make them feel like
For
they
sure.
also have a voice. You know, even if you're not a
Hmm.
musician or a songwriter, you can still find your voice through music. And
Hmm.
I think that that's important. That's a big reason that music exists, is because it says things that we don't know how to say sometimes otherwise. So with
Hmm.
Can You Hear Me Now, I felt really silenced, and like I didn't have a voice. And then writing that song was like breaking those chains. I just felt so free after that, and putting it out, and just saying, I'm here and you're gonna listen. Like, this song is out, and it's just
Yes,
about being heard, and
yes,
making your voice heard. Um,
yes, and noted. Yes, yes. But tell me, according to you, since you were born, raised, and right, you perform with your band in Nashville. Tell me a little bit about the music community there, and what steps do you take to try to reach out across the United States and other places of the United States? I mean, do you think social media? I've seen, by the way, lot of past interviews published about you in Nashville and other websites. So tell me a little bit about trying to break through, or making people hear you not only in Nashville. But I want to know, according to you, in your own words, what are the aspects of the music industry and community in Nashville, and what music they hear right now, country or other type of music as well?
Yeah, yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, I think Nashville is wonderful in the sense that it is very community based, and everyone, you know, there's bad apples everywhere, but for the most part, everyone really wants to support each other and rise up with each other. So you kind of find your people and you work with them and you rise with them. And I feel really lucky to have found those people. And in Nashville, a lot of people think country, right? Like it's country music, it's
Yes,
country western, but it's so diverse here in terms of genre. Like we have
yes,
pop punk, and we have hyper pop, and we have, hip hop and rap, and we also have rock, like alternative
yes,
rock, metal, as well as country. I mean, so it's just this giant melting pot of genres and culture through music. And I think that that's amazing. I feel really lucky. And I think in order to share that with the rest of the world, you just have to be writing things that resonate with people. And that's obviously the goal as an artist, is to reach people through your music. And so we've been working, I think social media is a great tool. That's something we didn't have. Like you were saying, it's changed so much.
yes.
Something we didn't
Hmm.
have, uh, however long ago, but now you have those platforms where you can reach people not just in other states in the US, but in other countries. And it's really
For
cool to
sure.
get messages from people in other countries saying, I heard your song on the radio, or I found your song on
Yes,
Spotify. And so I think that that's
yes.
awesome. And we want to take, the music on the road. We're planning some tours and shows and festivals in other parts of the country and the world. So that's the next step, I think.
Hmm. But I've seen as well that your songs became very popular in London and in BBC and related FM radio station. This is correct, right?
Yes, yeah, it's very exciting.
Oh, that's very nice, because in my where I live now in Latin America, in Ecuador, but in Egypt, we used to
Yeah.
listen, of course, at the time, to cassettes and vinyl.
Mhm.
My father maybe used to have vinyl, but I'm from the generation of cassettes, and then
Yeah.
CDs. And basically, we used to have FM radio, discover new songs on the chart in 90s or late 80s when I was a teenager.
Mhm.
And, basically, most of the time in the Middle East, it's English
Sure.
songs, coming from the
Interesting.
States and America, and then French. Then
Okay.
French come second. So tell me as well, because I received a lot of press releases about Egomania. So tell me a
Mhm.
little bit about it.
Yeah, yeah, that's really interesting, by the way. I didn't know that. That's cool that French too is like a big language there. But yeah,
I was in
Egomaniac
French school,
is.
by the way. My first language should be French after Arabic, but
Oh
of
wow.
course I use English more. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Un jour, tu peux présenter une chanson en français. I'm
That's
saying maybe one day you will sing in French for us.
that would be so. I would love that. That's really amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I that's fascinating because I think that's really cool when music can reach, through languages and genres as well, but that's something that's been so cool to see it, reach people in Egypt and people in Asia,
For sure.
in the UK and things. But yeah,
Everywhere,
so
everywhere. Yeah,
what's that?
yeah. I'm telling you everywhere because I still have in Egypt my collection of cassettes.
Yeah,
But I try to remember songs and create playlists of my memories, on Spotify. So
right.
right now I have like from my memory only and also movie soundtracks like 1,500 songs.
That's
You
amazing. Oh my
know,
gosh. Yeah.
between songs, 70s, 80s, 90s, and movie soundtrack, and sometimes television series I used to watch when I was a child.
I
But
love that.
I think it's amazing right now because you have because sooner or later the CDs and cassettes, the quality, it could vanish through time. But right now you have your playlist, and I can listen to in driving or in a bus or 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 traveling or anything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I want to ask you, did you have a certain musical influence while you work from, you like a guitarist, vocals, that really influenced you during your beginnings?
Yeah, definitely. I was really fortunate to grow up on all kinds of music. Country
Hmm.
western was a big one for my family. My grandpa loved all the old, Hank Williams and Johnny Cash and
You really?
that. And then I loved the rock bands,
Mm-hmm.
Killers and Paramore and Fall Out Boy and all the like pop punk people. And so I think that was like a really cool fusion. Like I got exposed to a lot, and then obviously, I love other genre. I love rap and hip hop and R&B and things like that as well. And so I think that getting to listen to all of that really helped form me. And then in terms of lyrical content, Taylor Swift, growing up as a young girl with Taylor Swift being like
Oh,
one of
yeah,
the big
yeah.
ones, um,
Yes, yes,
yeah, definitely shaped my writing.
for sure. I'm asking you as well because you did some covers as well
Mhm.
for famous song like Sugar We're Going Down, right?
Yes, yes.
So, t- tell me a little bit about covers and when you're performing in a front of live audience, do they do some requests for covers or your own songs with your band?
So we do primarily my own material. We will play a group of my songs and then throw in like one cover. And "Sugar We're Going Down" is
Yeah,
like
in,
one of our
yeah,
favorites.
in between.
It's just a fun one. But yeah, so yeah, mostly our own stuff. We don't do a lot of like strictly cover shows, but I love to throw in
Sure.
a good cover or two into the mix and just keep things interesting. And it's fun to just get to let loose a little bit with those two. So
Mhm. Yeah. I want to ask you because you have sent me some of your artwork and photos I've seen on your website and also on press releases. You have a certain character, a certain performance, I mean, on stage in front of the camera. Tell me, no one approached you to do some acting in movies or something like that?
I grew up doing some theater. I did,
Good.
shows like Oklahoma and things like that. I've never done anything on screen though. I would love to. I think that would be really, really fun and interesting. That's a goal
For
for
sure.
sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I hope because I've seen you have your own character performance movement, yeah, in front of still cameras and video, and maybe since you have also a theatrical background, maybe in the future you be venturing into acting. Who knows?
I would love
So
that.
yes, so, yes, call. Let the agents hear you right now. Can you hear me now? Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
So, Rachel, tell me, this year we are maybe in the middle of this year. So tell
Mhm.
me, what are your plans until the end of the year, and you have certain projects or dream you would like to realize in the upcoming period?
Yes, yeah. Thank you for asking. We have another single coming out this summer. We don't have a release
Good.
date quite yet, but it is in the works. I'm really excited about that song. And Egomaniac was just released a couple weeks ago, and so kind of riding off that, it's on the world charts and the Euro charts right now, so that's really exciting. It's starting to climb. Exciting to see that journey. But to follow that up, we'll have another single coming out this summer, and then lots of shows. I'm playing a festival in my hometown in the small corner of South Dakota. But I'm
Yes,
gonna get to go home with my band and play a festival there, which will be really fun. I'm excited for that. And
great.
we're going on tour in the fall in October. So
Yes. I hope you can come to New York. We'll be in New York during Tribeca Festival, me and my wife.
oh
Yeah,
amazing.
so maybe one day you will sing in this famous park where Billy Joel, Elton John
Oh my
sang in. I don't remember what is his name,
god.
and yes, I wish you all the best, of course,
Thank
in
you.
your upcoming projects and your tours. And I hope when you have a new song, you can come and we can talk about it next time again.
I would love that. Thank you for having me on. This was so much fun.
Thank you, Rachel, and say hi to everybody, to your band, and to your family.
I will. Thank you.
And enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye.